What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Realms of Metal. Eddie here, back with you from my happy place, my metal room here in the woods in PA. Still on vacation, man. It's Friday. I'm chilling. And like I said, I did a video the other day on my favorite EPs of 2023 as I was going through my favorite records. So I threw that out there yesterday. And I've got my favorite records of 2023 ready to go. I probably went through about 40 records and I narrowed it down to 15 because I just thought it was just way too much to talk about. So I got my top 15 and I got some honorables I'm going to throw in there. So my list is all different genres, man. You got death metal, black metal, thrash metal, crossover, straight up heavy metal. Got a few surprises in there as well. So like this is any genre. So real quick, I did a live stream with MOD Music of Destruction last night. That was pretty fun. Check that out. It's on his channel, Music of Destruction. Damien, thanks for having me on, brother. Really appreciate that. And that said, let's get at it, man. Overall, 2023 was a strong fucking year for metal. We really got some great records this year. I feel blessed to with what we got, just mind-blowing records. So here's some honorable mentions that didn't quite make my top 15. So I got Vomitory, All Heads Are Gonna Roll. That was their death metal from Sweden, really strong record. Band called Final Gasp. The record is called Morning Moon. They're a unique band. They mix like metal, hardcore, and goth. They're from Boston, Massachusetts. Really good record. Prong, State of Emergency. Prong from New York City. I'm sure everybody's familiar with. It's like groove, industrial, thrash metal. Marduk, Memento Mori, strong as fuck record, black metal from Sweden, really good. Frozen Souls, Glacial Dominations, death metal from Texas, just barely didn't make the list. I really like that record a lot. It's a newer band, but that record has like an old school vibe that I really dig. It's a great record. Metal Church, Congregation of Annihilation. Really love Metal Church. I love that record. I love the new singer, Mark Lopez. I think he does a great job on this new record. Cryptopsies, As Gamora Burns, tech, grind, death metal, brutal death metal from Canada. I thought it was a really strong record. Enforced from Virginia, thrash metal, crossover thrash, War Remains, another really strong one. I had to throw the new Mercure on here. I'm a new fan of Mercure, but I like the new record a lot, and I'm listening to it a lot. To me, it's not even a metal record. It's really poppy, folky stuff, but I dig it a lot. And that's Mercure from Denmark. And then my last one was the new Crypta, Shades of Sorrow, death metal from Brazil. Really cool stuff. There's some honorables. Let's get at the top 15, shall we? Here's one we reviewed on the channel, Sadus, The Shadow Inside. This is their 6th full length on Nuclear Blast. Sadus, thrash metal from Antioch, California. Darren Travis, guitar, vocals, and bass. John Allen on drums. This was produced, recorded, engineered, and mixed by Juan Ortega, and cover art by Travis Smith, who did another cover art on this list, and we'll get to that one. So thought this was a really strong comeback record. It was like their first record in 17 years for Sadus. No bullshit thrash metal. Really like this one a lot. So, The Shadow Inside, Sadus. Here's one that I don't know how many of you know about this band, but they probably fly under the radar for a lot of people. And it's a band called Drain. So this is their 2nd full length on Epitaph Records. It's crossover thrash, a lot of hardcore elements on this one. They're from Santa Cruz, California. Great sound, fun band. They write good songs. They fucking hit you hard. So you've got Drain as a 3-piece. You've got Sammy CRM Itaro on vocals, Cody Chavez on guitar, Tim Flieger on drums. Recorded by Taylor Young of Twitching Tongues, mixed by John Markson, mastered by Mike Calagian, who's done stuff for like Defeated Sanity, Voice of Ruin. Cover art by Silvio Capaferri. So if you're not familiar with Drain, really good stuff, crossover thrash. If you like that stuff, it's going to be right up your alley. They even do like a pure punk rock track on here. It's called Good Things. And there's even a track they call it Intermission where they do like a little bit of hip hop. There's a guy on there called Shakewell, a hip hop guy. Pretty neat if you like that stuff. So don't sleep on Drain. Really good stuff. Check them out. Let's go to my number 13. I reviewed it here on the channel. This is Cataclysm's Goliath, 15th full length on Nuclear Blast. Death metal slash later on melodic kind of groove, death groove from Canada. Just, legendary band, a band I've always been a fan of since the beginning. You got Maurizio Iacono on vocals, Jean-Francois Dagenet on guitar, Stefan Barb on bass, James Payne on drums. Produced, engineered, and recorded by Jean-Francois Dagenet of the band. Mixed and mastered by Chris Clancy, who's done stuff for like Machine Head, Acid Rain, Overkill. Additional mixing by Colin Richardson. Everybody knows him, right? Cover art by Eller Cantor, who I think we're going to talk about again on this list. So I think this is Cataclysm's strongest record since Prevail. I said it on the review, and I'm still sticking to that. So I think that's a strong record. Really like it a lot. So hail to Cataclysm. Go to my number 12, and this record is awesome. I feel like every time I listen to it, I like it more and more. But for right now, it's staying at number 12. This is the new KKs Priest, The Sinner Rides Again. This is their second full length on Napalm Records. It's heavy metal with members from England and the USA, so it's kind of like an international band. KK Downing on guitar, the legendary. AJ Mills on guitar, Tim Ripper Owens on vocals, Tony Newton on bass, Sean Elg on drums. Produced and engineered by KK Downing. Mixed and mastered by Jacob Hansen, who's done stuff with like Destruction, Pestilence, Flotsam and Jetsam, Tear, who's another cool band. Co-engineered by Andy Wall and Tony Newton of the band. Cover art by Andy Pilkington, who actually did the first KK cover, Sermons of the Sinner. He's done stuff for Flotsam and Jetsam, Acid Rain, to name a couple. But just a solid as fuck metal record. All the songs are good. They're growers, man. The more you listen to it, the more you're going to like this record. And this is a pleasant surprise to me. I like the first one. I thought it was decent, but I think this one is actually better than the first one. And really cool, man. KK's Priest. Here's my number 11. It's by a band called End Rain. It's called The Way of All Flesh's Decay. This is their first full length. It's on Relapse Records. They are kind of described as crossover thrash / metalcore, hardcore. It's got a real hardcore vibe to it. They are from Baltimore, Maryland. Now, the two notables on this one, you've got Mike Score on vocals from All Out War, and you've got Adam Jarvis on drums, the mighty Adam Jarvis from Misery Index, Pig Destroyer, et cetera, et cetera. Amazing fucking drummer. You've got Dominic Romeo on guitar. He was Ex-Integrity. You've got Sebastian Phillips on guitar, Exhumed. And you've got Art Laguerre on bass. Recorded, mixed, and mastered by Len Carmichael, who's done stuff for like Jesus Piece, Shattered Realm. Here's a cool band, Shattered Realm, Integrity. Cover art by Michelle Edison, who's done cover art for All Out War and Below the Frost. Really cool. And that cover art, Michelle Edison, she has an active band called Below the Frost, which she plays bass on. Check that out. But I really like this one a lot. You got guest vocals on Giving Life to Tragedy by DeWitt Hellion of Integrity. Really fucking cool. And the songs on this are just good. They hit you hard. And I wish I could get to see this band live. This record kills, man. End Rain, The Way of All Flesh's Decay. Let's go to number 10. This seemed to be a lot higher on other people's lists, but just not on mine. I like it a lot. And this is the new Hell Ripper. Warlocks, Grim, and Withered Hags. This is the one-man band from Aberdeen, Scotland. James McBain, he does guitars, bass, drums, and vocals. This is their third full length on Peaceville, and they're described as like that black speed thrash kind of stuff that a lot of bands are doing now. Really good, ripping solos, catchy songs, great production. Recorded and mixed by James McBain of the band, mastered by Damian Herring, who's with a band called Horrendous. You're probably familiar with them. Cover art by Adam Burke, who's done covers for Angel Witch, Hooded Menace, Unto Others. Production on this thing just fucking kills. He did a great job. So if you like stuff like Midnight, Toxic Holocaust, Whip Striker, Bewitcher, this is going to be right up your alley. They did a video for the Knuckle, which is like a demon horse, right? Knuckle. Pretty awesome, man. Hell Ripper. Let's go to number 9. Thrash Metal Titans Overkill with Scorched. This is their 20th full length on Nuclear Blast. They are thrash metal from New York, New Jersey area. Bobby Blitz Ellsworth on vocals, D.D. Verney on bass, Dave Linsk on guitar, Derek Taylor on guitar, Jason Bittner on drums. Mixed by Colin Richardson and Chris Clancy. Cover art by Travis Smith, who we just talked about. He's done stuff for like Amorphous, Iced Earth, Bloodbath, King Diamond. He did the new Sadus as well. That's the one we talked about. So Overkill scored solid record. Liked it a lot. It's my number 9 of the year. And just a solid as fuck record, So check it out. Go to my number 8, and that's the new Incantation, Unholy Deification. It's their 13th full length on Relapse. It's death metal. They reside in Johnstown, PA now. John McEntee, guitars and vocals. Luke Shively on guitar. Chuck Sherwood on bass. Kyle Severin on drums. Mixed and mastered by Dan Swano. Everybody knows Dan Swano. Cover art, Eller and Cantor, who we just talked about. He's done stuff for like Atheist, Hate Eternal, Immolation, Cavalier Conspiracy. Guest vocals on this one for the track The Circle, Jeff Becerra from Possessed. Really cool stuff, man. I think it's a solid as fuck record. I don't think there's a bad Incantation record ever. Like, I think they're all good, and I love the production on this one. Love the songwriting. So Incantations, Unholy Deification. Here's one out of left field. I reviewed it on here on the channel, and that's the new Die Humane record called The Grotesque. This is their first full length on Worm Group. This is a mix mash of all different kinds of styles. You've got, doomy stuff, jazzy stuff, industrial stuff, bluesy stuff, prog stuff. Like, they're just kind of a mix of everything. When I reviewed it on the channel, this is Rick Huno. That this is he's in this band, and it's the reason why I went and checked out this band and bought the record. So you got Garrett West on vocals, Rick Huno on guitar, formerly of Exodus, Josh Vargas, he does bass, rhythm, guitar, pianos, and programming, and then you got Greg Hilladice, who does keyboards, programming, and guitars. Now, it reminds me of I can only describe it as bands that it reminds me of stuff. So, like I said, if you watch that review, if you like Devin Townsend, if you like Nine Inch Nails, if you like Pink Floyd, King's X, later era Mastodon, you're gonna love this record. Just great songs, catchy songs, choruses that stick in your head. Go watch that review and let me know what you think. Listen to this record, man. Pick it up. You won't be disappointed. This was produced and mixed by Ulrich Wild, who's done stuff for Prong, Deftones, Pantera, Alice in Chains. So, Die Humane's The Grotesque. Highly recommend it. Here's my number 6. This is Obituary's Dying of Everything. I reviewed it here on the channel. It's their 11th full length on Relapse. Death metal from Gibsonton, Florida. Obituaries really never changed their style all over these years. They have a style and they stick to it, and it's that grooving fucking death metal with really catchy solos, doing what they always do. And this one I really like a lot. It's one of the better obituary albums in their catalog to me, aside from like Cause of Death and The Incomplete and Slowly Rot. It's right up there with those. It really is strong songs. John Tardy on vocals, Trevor Perez on guitar, Kenny Andrews on guitar, Terry Butler on bass, and Donald Tardy on drums. Produced and mixed by Joe Sincata, who's done stuff for Criminal Element. He's actually an ex-member of Criminal Element. Internal Bleeding, Suffocation. Mastered by Brad Boatwright, who's done stuff for Incantation, Integrity, Fuming Mouth. Engineered by Mark Prater, who's done stuff for Deicide, Morbid Angel, Monstrosity. He did the Amon album, the Hoffman Brothers record that they did for Amon. Cover art by Marius Lewandowski, who's done stuff for Carnation, Mental Cruelty, and I think he actually passed away last year. So, rip Marius Lewandowski. But really solid record. Loved it a lot. If you didn't get it, highly recommend picking up the new Obituary, man. Dying of everything. Number 5, Suffocations, Hymns from the Apocrypha. It's their 9th full length on Nuclear Blast. I reviewed it here on the channel. Love this record. I think I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. So Suffocation is described as brutal technical death metal. They throw a lot of groove in there too. They are from Long Island, New York. You got Terrence Hobbs on guitar, Derek Boyer on bass, Charlie Arrigo on guitar, Eric Maratti on drums, and Ricky Myers on vocals. This is his first full length with the band. Does a killer fucking job. Ricky Martin does, replacing a legend like Frank Mullen. But one thing I love about this record too is the production. Produced, mixed, and mastered by Christian Donaldson. He did a fucking amazing job on there. The guitar tone on this is so sharp. I just love the guitar tone they got. He's done stuff for like Cataclysm, Ingested, Cryptopsy. Cover art by Giannis Nakos, who's done stuff for Evergrey, Vomitory, Blood Red Throne, to name a few. But I really like this one a lot. They did a video for Seraphim Enslavement. Strong as fuck record, not a bad track on it. Really like this one a lot. Hails to Suffocation, man. Still bringing it after all these years. My number 4, new Cannibal Corpse, Chaos Horrific. It's their 16th full length on Metal Blade, death metal from Tampa, Florida. George Corpse Grinder Fisher on vocals, Rob Barrett and Eric Rutan on guitar. Have I mentioned the fact that I love Eric Rutan and Cannibal Corpse? I feel like this is his second record with Cannibal Corpse now. Just feel like he was always meant to be in Cannibal Corpse. I was always a huge fan. I love Hate Eternal as well. I love the Morbid Angel stuff he was on. And just a humble guy. I love the fact that he's in Cannibal Corpse now. Just makes me like Cannibal Corpse even more. And you got the mighty Alex Webster on bass and the mighty Paul Mazurkowitz on drums. A legitimate fucking death metal supergroup is what this band is. They're a supergroup. Produced, engineered, and mixed by Eric Rutan of the band. Mastered by Alan Duche, who's done stuff for Decapitations, Death, and Belphegor. Cover art by the legendary Vincent Locke, who's done all the Cannibal Corpse covers. Videos for Blood Blind, Chaos Horrific, and Summon for Sacrifice. So, really impressed by this record. Strong as fuck. Cannibal Corpse, man. Still bringing it after all these years, too. Can't say enough good things about it, man. Hails to Cannibal Corpse. My number 3, we're going to go black metal. We're going Immortals, War Against All. This is their 10th full length on Nuclear Blast. They are from Norway, obviously. It's the one-man show now. You got Demonaz on guitars and vocals. Abath is out doing his solo stuff. So you got guest musicians on this one. Arve Isdal does bass and guitars. He's with Enslaved, Demon as his solo stuff. You got Kevin Cavell on drums. He's with a band called Harm, really good. And they're listed as guest musicians on this, so it's really just a Demon as show. Produced and recorded by Arve Isdal of the band, who's done stuff for Bifrost, Enslaved, and Demon as. Mastered by Ivor Sandoy, who's done stuff for Mayhem, Helheim, Enslaved, to name a few. Cover art by Matthias Frisk, who's done cover arts for like Birdflesh, Hellbringer. He did Ghost, I think. So, Immortal's War Against All. I love this one. I love the sound of it. I love the production. I love the songwriting. You know, Immortal can do no wrong in my book. Demonaz does a great job. I mean, I wish he was still with Abath. I wish it was them together still. But, you know, we're getting the Abath stuff, which I like a lot too. And so it is what it is. But Immortal's War Against All, my number 3 of the year. Super fucking killer record, man. Hails to Immortal. Here's my number 2. This is Cattle Decapitations Terrorcite. I gave it a 9.5 on the channel. I reviewed it here. In love with this record still. It's their 10th full length on Metal Blade. They are Death Grind from San Diego, California. I know this is very high on a lot of people's lists, and, you know, rightfully so. I fucking love it a lot. Travis Ryan on vocals, Josh Elmore on guitar, Belisaro DeMuzio on guitar, Oliver Pinard on bass, Dave McGraw on drums. Musicianship is like off the charts on this record. They really just fucking bring it, you know. Produced, mixed, and mastered by Dave Otero, who's done stuff for like Aborted, Skinless, Cephalic Carnage. Cover art by Wes Benscoter, who's done covers for like Sinister, Slayer, Autopsy, Hypocrisy. Videos for We Eat Our Young, Aphotic Doom, Soul Nostalgia, and Scourge of the Offspring. Just an amazing record. This is one of those bands that just seems to be getting better and better and better with age. Like, they just get it. They write good songs. They're technical. They're just the production is off the charts on here. Great songwriters, great musicians, man. Cattle Decapitation. So here's my number 1. You can probably guess what it is if you watch my videos. I also gave this record a 9.5, and I reviewed it on the channel, but it just speaks to me a little bit more than Terrorcite, and that's the new Dying Fetus, Make Them Beg for Death. This is their 9th full length on Relapse, Death Grind from Baltimore, Maryland. Dying Fetus just like hits home for me. It's, you know, they're one of my favorite bands. I remember anticipating this record, and when I finally put it on and heard it, like, it was all I wanted and more. Like, that's kind of what you get on this. To me, this is like another death metal supergroup. You've got John Gallagher on guitars and vocals, Sean Beasley on bass, and Trey Williams on drums. One of my favorite drummers, Trey Williams. Produced by Stephen Wright, who's done stuff for Acid Bath, Diabolic, Misery Index, name a couple. Mixed and mastered by Mark Lewis, who's done stuff for Deicide, Cannibal Corpse, Black Dahlia Murder. Cover art by Daniel McBride, who's done stuff for like Surreption, Veil of Maya, After the Burial. Music videos for Feast of Ashes, Unbridled Fury, and Compulsion for Cruelty. So I love everything about this record. All the songs are good. Like I said, it just speaks to me a little bit more than Terrorcite. And fuck. It's my number 1 of the year. Like, I listen to it. I listen to it almost daily. I probably listen to it at least once a day still. So, hails to Dying Fetus, man. Love that band. You know, seen them a bunch of times. Just fucking great stuff. So, there you have it, man. There's my top 15 of 2023. A bunch of mix mash of different genres. Like I said, great year. Looking forward to next year. There's going to be some great stuff coming out in 2024. So I'm excited about that. So in closing, just, you know, thanks to everybody who's watching the videos, liking, subscribing, commenting. I really appreciate that a lot. I got a couple of questions on the realms of metal at gmail.com. So, you know, send me some more questions and I'll do an episode and I'll answer some questions. You know, whatever you got, I'll answer it. That'll be pretty fun. And this channel is still young. We started it the end of January 2023 this year. So we haven't even been a year yet, and we're growing. And like I said, I appreciate everybody for watching, and you guys rule. Can't say that enough. So thanks, and we'll see you again real soon. Have a good one.